In this video we will compare the American Pit Bull Terrier with the Patterdale Terrier. So it's a versus, and it gives you some insights. So first of all, there are different breeds. The American Pit Bull Terrier was developed for being especially in a box, sometimes also for handling cattle and hunting especially hawk. Whereas the Patterdale Terrier is an elite bird terrier that has some other applications, but it's not an expert in that. It's just the earthwork that really shines. So that also would mention some of the difference already, because being an earth terrier, and normally all terriers should be earth terriers because terra means earth, but this is a certain size. So an American Pit Bull Terrier is a lot bigger, and also there are other differences. For example, being a smaller dog, the digestive system has a relatively more mass in a Patterdale Terrier as it has in an American Pit Bull Terrier. Another thing is, by American Pit Bull Terriers originally being bred for the pit, their dog aggression levels are oftentimes a lot higher than that of working terriers that are aggressive against quarry, for example a fox or a badger, but not so much aggressive to other dogs. It doesn't mean that any breed of dog cannot have same-sex aggression, such as two males being macho against each other or two females, of course. But the levels are a lot lighter than in a pit dog, of course. Another thing is that in general, and I can only speak in general terms, because especially in the American Pit Bull Terrier there's an extreme diversity. Some are very lanky, some are very bulky, depending if they go for the endurance aspect or the power aspect. But in general, Patterdale Terrier is much narrower in build. Hoi! Hey Sammy! It's much narrower in build, and that is because a Patterdale Terrier should have quite a small chest circumference to follow the quarry. So this region is a lot narrower. Also, Patterdale Terriers have very flexible chest, more flexible than an American Pit Bull Terrier. Both breeds are quite athletic, so that they are able to turn around in a den, but also around their body, of course. So that's a good thing. And very often as well hey, lekker aan het genieten. Very often as well the head is stronger in American Pit Bull Terrier. So you have, in summary, a little bit less weight that can be used for power, because they have a bigger part for the digestive system. Also, there are some other things that are different. Spiky. If you look at the feet, they are a little bit wider and stronger than your average American Pit Bull Terrier, depending on the relative weight, so to say, the size, because the terrier also needs to dig, so they have to have a little bit of small shovels attached to their feet. Also, they have strong feet. Sometimes American Pit Bull Terriers in particular, when being inbred, it will become worse. Feet can be easily hurt. Of course, if you would have a quarry between an American Pit Bull Terrier, which is a lot larger dog, and then Patterdale Terrier, you will easily break the bones of a Patterdale Terrier because the size difference. But to the relative size, they have stronger feet. Also, they have a very thick skin. So this is different between American Pit Bull Terrier that has to lose as much as heat as possible and stay within a certain weight frame, whereas the Patterdale Terrier doesn't need to see very thick, strong skin. Doesn't need to stay within this weight frame, but just a chest circumference. So if you want to put your hands across this, should be narrow enough for it to enter the dens. So in comparison, an American Pitbull Terrier would need to bring as much power as possible for a certain weight class, whereas a Patterdale Terrier should need to bring also a lot of power, but then for a specific chest circumference size. So what does that mean? That Patterdale Terriers can be quite dense animals, because the denser they are, the more dogs you can put into a small chest, whereas American Pitbull Terriers are often a little bit lighter in the bone. So also for breeding into running dogs, you get more lightness when adding an American Pitbull Terrier of the same size that you would get from a Patterdale Terrier. The Patterdale Terrier, however, might bring better feet, and also because they are hunting dogs, they also have a little bit more hunting drive and better nose as well, because those things are often not required for an American Pitbull Terrier. So that gives you some insight in the comparison of these two breeds. Have a great day. My dog is a Patterdale Terrier of 1.5 years old, BSL ESTACADO.